Good evening. I did not check back to see how many days I have till I'm 40 this time, but going live on Instagram. There we go. I don't have that much. Well, I don't have anything planned or prepared or outlined this today. My mind's just mostly been in the world of finance and Bitcoin and stable coins and commodities. Um, Went to the Bitcoin meetup here in Vancouver actually, just earlier. They meet every Mondays and Thursdays, so I I've been trying to make it to both of them every week, but it's hard. So especially the Monday mornings. Monday mornings, I'm like, only whales can make it to that one. But I've made it. I've gone out there. And today was really nice. We were out at Ren's Cafe. Met someone new, talked about their Bitcoin journey. Everyone really starts in a different place, and it's really cool hearing about where they started, when they heard about it, when they got in, when they sold, uh, what they won, what they lost, what they learned, what their thesis or philosophy is in the next 10 years, all that. Apparently, people are dumping silver for gold and Bitcoin, and even gold for Bitcoin as well. Um, and it led to a conversation around inflation and credit creation, and how apparently because apparently gold and silver were, they're commodities. Like, ever since we went off the gold standard, they've become commodities, only really for used for non-financial means, or for not for settlement of trade, right? um, and they've been subject to a lot of volatility, similar to other commodities and other, like, oh, well, okay, so a commodity like oil, wheat, rice, cattle, things like that. Just, these are commodities, and they trade different. Like, they trade in a certain fashion or style, supply demand, replaceable, and gold and silver fell into that category. And so there's a whole futures market around commodities, because the idea is that it takes time to produce, mine, or create, or generate, or farm the outputs, right? Like, what it takes time to grow a cow, or it takes time to generate enough milk, or these that's so in order to kind of hedge or manage costs, farmers and miners and developers, manufacturers, really many parties today participate in, like, commodities and futures markets, basically setting up a finance contract, um, where the the person who needs the goods, like, if I need oil in 1 year from now, and I want a fixed price, I will pay you in advance today, and you will deliver oil to me across this whole year, or at the end of the year, at this price. And you'll do whatever you need to do, pump it out of the ground, whatever it is. But we have a fixed price contract. I invest or give you the money now, and you deliver. Not you don't return me the money. Like, it's not a financial loan, but it's like a commodity loan. You give me oil back. And it's actually used a lot in Islamic finance too, particularly like in Malaysia. Although maybe we'll get into it here or not, maybe later, but it's also abused uh, greatly. And we were just talking about that around the Bitcoin table, how um, gold and silver were actually highly, highly abused in North America. And until Chinese buyers were actually started actually taking delivery of gold. So they would buy gold on the commodities market, and then they would actually take delivery of it. So so just to dig into that, people, like in the example of the oil, if I ordered oil from you, then I'm always taking delivery of it, because I need to use the oil for my planes or whatever, right? But technically, you can choose not to take delivery. You could just, like, roll it over into another contract and really play with the volatility of the price of oil instead, sell it to somebody else, things like that. And that creates more speculation in the market. It does help with price discovery, but, like, um and all that's actually fine. And even, like, Islamic finance wise actually fine. except when you start borrowing against the commodity contracts that you have to buy into more commodities, and then you're betting with leverage on price. Like, of course, Wall Street's gonna do it. All the big banks do it. They participate in it. They fund traders that do this, and that's when the problems start. And in these scenarios, the person with the biggest capital or the financial backing with the most wins gets the lower cost capital, bigger advantages, and gets to, muscle out everybody else. And it leads to credit creation, and it leads to there being more paper commodities, or like IOU of an IOU of a barrel of oil generated than there is actual oil in the ground, right? It's like, if I promised you a barrel of oil 1 year from now, and then I sold that to somebody else, I basically promised him. But then at the same time, if I took a loan against that, um, somehow I'm promising him 2 barrels now. Like, you're promising me one, I'm promising him one, and we're both selling it. Now it's 2 promises being sold in the market. There's 2 barrels of oil, but actually there's only one. And yeah, commodities trade at easily 8 to 16 times more than their actual available amounts for delivery, particularly highly financialized commodities. At one time, gold and silver. Um, in Malaysia, palm oil, which is used by the Islamic finance industry. Um, and you have this financialization and credit creation in that space that's not real. And you know what beats it? What beats that not real is when when someone along this chain of lenders and borrowers and traders actually wants delivery. They want to take delivery of that oil, or the gold, or wheat. And when they take delivery, somebody has to pay, and it just kind of cascades down. And it fixes all the future bets down to the actual spot price of what's actually trading. And a lot of people lose out. Sure, a lot of people win as well, but a lot of people lose out, and it becomes a much more volatile asset and harder to speculate against and create more financial products on top of. So China had been requiring a lot of their gold in delivered, and that speculation started to leave the gold market, but it's still very much there in the silver market, making it like a toxic asset. And yeah, people who've been holding silver as a hedge against inflation have only experienced like a 2x. They still got ahead of inflation, by the way, but like barely. People holding gold got ahead a lot more, and obviously people holding Bitcoin. So people holding silver are now getting off of that and going into gold, sorry, and into Bitcoin. And I'll end it here for today, but I think I found the topic for tomorrow. Basically, Bitcoin today trades like a commodity and acts like a commodity, like gold and silver, and it's a store of value like gold and silver that way too. It's not it's not entirely susceptible to the same manipulation and credit creation that the rest of the commodity markets experience, although it has already started. Like, there's a huge futures market in Bitcoin as well, um, which I would argue is actually even depressing the prices and contributing to more volatility, with all these ETFs taking them on as well. Um, Although on the other side, ETFs are also kind of taking delivery of the Bitcoin too, so um, that helps. The punchline though is, if you are getting into Bitcoin, like, just hold Bitcoin yourself, take delivery of your Bitcoin, because that makes for a healthier system, instead of leaving it in the hands of Wall Street to trade and bet against. Um, Meanwhile, I do believe the market is needed and to be created for gold futures, gold commodities, to help people hedge their bets, or hedge their investments, and um, their expenses and costs and things like that. A lot of businesses are starting to hold Bitcoin treasuries as well. You might want to lean into your Bitcoin to borrow against it, or just generate some cash um, uh, when it's a bull market and things like that. And There, people are looking for cash solutions there, and that's where my current interest is, and where we're trying to create some value and um, create that commodities trading market, or like a repurchase market for Bitcoin that does not deviate or create fake or synthetic Bitcoin out there. Because you really can't. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. If you have it, you have it. You can prove it, and have that all built on chain. Really, a lot of the futures trading right now happens off chain, happens in databases. So that's why you can create fake Bitcoin. But being able to do repurchases and future contracts, which hello, um, on chain, where you can take full delivery all the time, and I think is a game changer, and that's what I'm putting my efforts to. Thank you.